on September 10th, 19 Russian drones penetrated European airspace. That's caused a huge amount of consternation. It's one of a number of incidents, in fact, in the past couple of years that have made us think a bit harder about how we defend our airspace against quite complex threats that are changing very quickly in Ukraine, particularly when it comes to drones.
Today we will touch on all those issues and, of course, on what happened just recently, the drones, how to make sure that we can do even more to protect NATO against also these new developments. And one of the issues we were discussing is this new program, which we launched only in August. The program where the United States is again delivering essential, lethal and non-lethal military support to Ukraine, paid for by allies, already 2 billion committed. And I have every reason to assume today that many other countries will sign up. This is crucial stuff, including air defense systems and particularly interceptors, important for Ukraine to make sure that their civilian population, their crucial infrastructure is as much protected as possible.
The drone war is, of course, in its early stages, but the Baltic states are very keen on this. So stretching down through the Baltics, Poland, Germany is also within range of a lot of these Russian drones. And it's about integrating all of your air defense assets to work together in tandem, from ground radars, fighter jets, cheap interceptor drones, missiles, the whole range of capabilities and electronic warfare to jam these drones, all working in tandem around the clock. It's quite a challenge.
I can assure you that the EU and NATO are really working very well together. There is no doubling at all. We are all making sure that we make use of the strengths of the two organizations. And NATO is good at the hard stuff, which is the standard setting, the capabilities, the military side. And the EU has the enormous soft power of the internal market, the enormous soft power of making sure the money is there, making sure that the nations in the EU are aligned. And this combination is crucial to work together.
The big challenge for the drone war is to shoot these drones down or take them down with electronic warfare in a cost-effective way. You just can't be firing hundreds or even thousands of $1 million or $500,000 missiles at these drones that generally cost about $50,000 each. It's hard to put a firm price on these things. It's always changing, but that would not be sustainable from an industrial-based perspective or a cost perspective. That would be the Russians imposing a huge cost on us. So the challenge is to get the technologies, cheap interceptor drones, get the costs down. The EU have said there might be something capable in a year's time. And actually, if you look at the conflict in Ukraine, they've actually got some of the tightest layered air defenses, mostly for stopping drones, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles in the world. And that's a constantly evolving evolution between the attacking side and the defending side. So we'll be standing up different capabilities to try and defend European airspace with the drone wall. And that's going to change. So that it's not going to be an announcement like we've now built the drone wall. It's going to be something that will take a number of years, because a lot of capabilities that might be the cheapest options, they don't quite exist yet.
Part of my task as Secretary General, and this has been the case for my predecessor, for me, is to make sure we keep the support for Ukraine as strong as possible. And I'm really proud that as a collective alliance, we are able to do that, to make sure that Ukraine stays in the fight as strong as possible.
Ukraine is an environment where you can test GPS jamming, you can test your equipment in a very difficult real-world situation in ways that we just couldn't do in Europe. We couldn't do it safely. You need vast training areas to do that. You can't do a lot of electronic warfare training within Europe because you'll interfere with civilian communication technology. So we've got to work really closely with the Ukrainians, keep on supporting the Ukrainians, and that's how we'll understand how a lot of this new technology works. Because at the end of the day, you don't understand how new technology works really until it's been in a real combat situation.
The Russians thought probably when they started this war, first they thought they would win it in 3 weeks. Now we are in year 4. They have lost 1 million people, dead or seriously wounded. Only gained this year very incremental successes, very small size of Ukrainian territory. Again, 1 million people lost or seriously wounded. And the support for Ukraine last year, this year, continues to flow.